Hi guys, welcome to my new video. This is Tim Bird, probably you know him. So Tim, I've got the first question for you. When did you discover to become an entrepreneur instead of an employee, and why you choose to be an entrepreneur?
Good question. So when I was 18, before I went to college, I was a mortgage broker. And that means, I don't know if you have mortgage, how that works here in Italy, but in the United States, a mortgage broker, that's where you go to when you want to buy a house. They help you get the money.
Okay.
So I was working downtown Chicago, wearing a suit every day to work, working 9 to 5, and I was doing really well. I was making, after just a few months, I was making more than everyone that had been a mortgage broker their whole life.
Okay.
When I was 18 years old only. But then, I was making pretty decent money for 18, but then I go home and my little brother, who's 2 years younger than me, he's making money online, okay? And this is 2004, 2005, so like a long time ago, But anyway, so my little brother is making money online, and I'm like, that seems a little shady, like this is still new then,
Yeah.
So he works for one day, and he made like $100 in like an hour or something, or 2 hours, whatever, quick. And I was like, okay, let's see if you get a paycheck, Let's see if you actually get the money, or is it some bullshit online, So he gets the check. So then the next week, I'm like, he makes, maybe 500. He works for a full day and makes $500, from his bedroom, right? Just work on the computer.
Okay.
So then I'm like, okay, let's see if you get the check.
Yeah, makes sense.
The check comes. I'm like, all right, let's see if it clears.
Okay.
Let's see if it goes through,
Okay.
Then the next week he starts making 1,000, 2,000 a week, and then he's making 3,000 a week, and he's making more than I'm making doing mortgages in the office, working full time, and he's sitting in his bed working,
Yeah.
So it was my brother actually that was starting to do affiliate marketing.
Okay.
And that's what he was doing, was being an affiliate.
Okay.
We didn't know that was what it was called.
Okay. Cool.
So then I came in and I automated it, and then we started making a lot of money, and then they asked us to come and manage their affiliate program. So I kind of like fell into it on accident like that.
So this was your first impact with make money online?
Yes.
Business online, stuff like that. Okay, great. And so what do you think about the future for advertising, media buyer? If you have to say me 3 things that become like skyrockets for the advertising niche in the future.
What 3 things will make a big difference?
Yeah.
So the 3 things that I think is going to make a very big difference for media buyers is 1, AI. AI obviously is coming out of the woodwork here, and everything from copywriting to helping build landing pages to even making video ads and image ads. I mean, you can use it for so much now. So I think AI is going to be a huge part, and it's going to automate, I think, a lot of the actual media buying itself.
Okay.
Where you basically would load in your creative, point it to your landing page, and then it would kind of do the rest. So I don't think strategies and stuff will be as important years from now. I think it'll be more about the landing page, the offer, and the creatives, making sure that's all aligned and something someone wants. Because you can make an offer and make a landing page and whatever, but then no one wants to buy it. So you still have to make sure people want it.
Okay.
So yeah, I'd say that those would be the most important though.
Okay, makes sense. And then the other 2?
So AI is one of them, and then the offer itself.
Okay.
The offer itself, whatever you're selling, the price, etc. That would be the other one, and then I'd say traffic source diversification. Not just running traffic on only Facebook or only Google. What I see is a lot of smaller platforms. Like Getter and Gab and some of these like smaller social platforms are starting to like come together, where you can go and it's kind of like native ads, where you can go and on one platform like Taboola or Outbrain, but then it connects to like 1,000 websites, right? And you can buy from 1,000 websites all in one spot. So that same thing is happening for a lot of social apps now, where they're making new ad platforms. So I think that's going to be one of the big ones, is finding where your audience is. Like obviously you can advertise on Facebook or Instagram, and there's lots of people there from all audiences. But let's say that you want to hit maybe a very specific niche. You could find maybe a social platform or a website and do a direct buy or whatever. But long story short, I think it's going to be niche down basically, where you go more niche.
Okay, great. So right now you have Founder Mastermind. It's a big community. So my next question is about community.
Okay.
Which is the future, by your experience, by your thought, for community in the future?
For my community or for just any community?
Your and for other community in general.
So for our community specifically, we're looking to create actually in-person membership clubs where you can come in person. There'll be a restaurant, lounge, rooftop pool, and you can hang out and meet other business owners, get a drink, work on your laptop, just kind of hang out. So that's the plans for our community. Community in general, though, I think that because of social media and a lot of other factors, basically people are kind of pulling back more, and they're not, they're more on their phone, they're not hanging out with people as much, and even when they are out with people, they're on their phone, not like with the people. So I think as people kind of are pulling away, really what people are, they're more and more craving the in-person connection. So I see a big shift towards more in-person events, more in-person networking, more in-person, just more in-person.
I think the same. I think that
Zoom only goes so far.
Exactly. I think the same because for my idea, my experience right now, community is okay, but you need to meet the people in person.
That changes the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And in the future, probably more because the pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah, it accelerated it, right? And now,
Exactly.
so a lot of people, they're just stuck on their computer behind Zoom, and now people's anxiety is really crazy. I know a lot of people that were totally, normal or whatever before COVID, and now after COVID, they're so used to staying at home all the time that they get nervous and they don't want to go out to events and meet people,
About it.
So people need to get over that, but the people that do make it out and go to the events, they love it. It's just so much different. You don't get that connection on Zoom,
Yeah.
There's
absolutely.
no way. It's just not even close.
Absolutely. I asked it this morning, but I need to re-ask it for my channel.
Yeah.
So, which was the most obstacle that you found in your career, in your life as an entrepreneur, to inspire who watching us?
Yeah, so great question. So I've had a lot of struggles, obstacles, whatever you want to call it, as an entrepreneur for the last 18 years. I'd say though that the biggest one that's kept biting me in the ass over and over and over has been legal. Laws, disclaimers, regulations, basically just laws and rules. I had one business, my medical marijuana business failed for zoning regulations, city zoning. I couldn't do anything about that. My first internet company failed because Visa changed cross-sell regulations in Europe, so you couldn't cross-sell someone else's site because of credit card sharing. So then that screwed that business, okay? Even just 2 years ago, during COVID, I started a mobile hormone business where you could go fill out a questionnaire, and then we would send someone to your house, take your blood, test it, and then if your testosterone was low, then we would mail you testosterone, and you could do it yourself, all at home. You never have to go to a in person or anything.
Great idea.
So we started doing pretty good. We got into like maybe 10 different states. But then I basically, and I have been working with an attorney, but then basically that attorney wasn't good enough, so I hired an even better attorney. When I talked to that attorney, basically nationwide, it was going to cost me like $1 million in just legal fees to do the whole country.
Okay.
And it wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
I have other businesses that I'd rather put $1 million in, and definitely ROI.
Yeah.
So I mean, even as recently as 2 years ago, legal is still getting me. And then that's one of the big considerations too. Like when you're going to maybe start a new business, is this legal? Even if it is legal, does Facebook and Google allow it on the platform? Like you can sell knives, no problem, right? But not on Facebook. They don't like knives, right? So it's making sure that everything is okay, and everything lines up and everything's
Less
legit
problem.
and That's the hard part, I'd say.
Okay.
But once you get past all that, good to go.
It's done.
Yeah.
Okay. So last question for you, which is, if you don't mind, the best business to start the next year between, is a hard question, huh?
Okay.
Affiliate, e-coms, and media buying.
Media buying for what, though? Because you could media buy for affiliate, right?
Great question.
Yeah.
Okay, refresh. Media buyer for affiliate, media buyer for e-com, or media buyer for info products?
Ooh.
Hard question.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. If you're going to start your own offer, then lead gen's probably the easiest, or an info product would probably be the easiest thing to start. But let's say you're going to promote someone else's product for one, either e-com or those three categories. Then I would try all three and just see what ROI is the best. Because e-com usually has lower margins, but there's a lot of scale there. Usually info products, I'd say, probably have the most margin usually because they're digital, right?
Yeah, more than e-com.
And then lead gen would be somewhere in the middle. And the thing with lead gen too is that there's caps. There's only so many leads that a company can take. They only have so many salespeople, right?
Okay.
But info products, they can scale up and just add more salespeople in the call center and take more leads and more sales. So I'd say the info product probably the easiest one to scale and probably the highest ROI. But it's also a lot of ad platforms don't love it. You got to really be careful what you say and really be careful about the rules and regulations. Again, it comes down to that all the time. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I'd say probably info products number one, number two lead gen, and probably third e-com. But I will say though that building an e-com brand is the best for the long term and to sell.
Yeah.
That's going to be the best to sell. It's not that easy to sell a lead gen company because if the leads stop tomorrow, the money stops tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what's nice about e-com is you get return customers. And then I would also though try to implement a subscription element to the e-commerce business, some sort of a monthly box they get, or a monthly VIP program where they get a discount or something, just so you have that recurring revenue. Because then it makes your company worth basically triple what it's worth as a normal company. You get a higher multiple. So you can sell this, even though the company makes the same amount of money, you can sell it for like triple of a normal company.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. So thank you very much, Tim, for this video. And
thank you for having me.
Appreciate
it.
It was a pleasure. Ciao, guys.
Ciao.